My fellow denizens of the Under Empire, welcome to the showdown between the Skaven, who shall be led by Lord Skrolk, the second filthiest of all rats. I guess Nurklage is probably dirtier, right? And we're going to be facing off against Norsca, who shall be led by Wulfric. And today we're going to be joined by the glorious Dob Plays. So if you guys haven't seen his channel, make sure to check him out. So as far as the build goes, it's going to be pretty mixed forces. We do have some light skirmishing, two groups of gutter runners, or one group of gutter runners as well as night runners. And it's kind of a good cost saver. I mean, gutter runners, of course, have better stats across the line, but it's not that different. I mean, 23 missile damage compared to 20 of night runners. Their output is going to be similar, but what you get from the gutter runners is a snare net plus the poison. Oh, did I forget to bring the ones with poison? Damn it, I was wondering this game. I was like, why are they not slowing the things? Well, they still have the snare net, so that still helps, but mistake on my part. Meant to bring poison. So in the front line, it's going to be a bunch of Skaven slaves in the first two rows. We do have some Doom Flayers as well to help out against Norscan infantry. Stormvermin are actually quite good. With their 90 armor, they mitigate a lot of damage from pretty much all of the Norscan infantry. And, you know, Norsca isn't going to bring like champions against you with great weapons or marauders with great weapons. So normally Stormvermin do have a very good niche here. On top of that, we do have the Teeth Breakers going to be hopefully breaking some Norscan teeth here. These guys are going to be rattling away. And something that's really cool about these guys that a lot of people don't know is they actually have a concealment bomb. So they can get a little bit sneaky. And I believe I pop it here in just a second. So hopefully you can catch my opponent off guard here. We have Lord Skrolk, a couple Rat Ogres in the high ground, Stormvermin in the back. It could zap cannon up here in the high ground, the very, very high ground. And they're going to be defended by the Council Guard, Stormvermin with halberds. And these guys are pretty much a must against Norsca. You're often going to see Skinwolves and Famir, and you know, Lord sniping is very common. Oftentimes against Skaven especially, people are going to go for that Lord, you know, just try and get in there and kill him. So having the Guardian effect plus the just durable presence is going to be really good for Skrolk. So for Dob's army, quite solid. He's going to be hiding in the trees, and I actually didn't think this tree line would hide his army, but I couldn't see any of his army right now, like nothing. The only thing I saw was some Marauders. So he's got Marauders, he's got Skinwolves, and a Skinwolf Werekin. Front line's going to be Marauders and Berserkers. A ton of Skinwolves, all just standard. You don't really need the armor in this matchup, I don't think. Wulfric, he has a Firecaster for the Burning Head, and in the distance, he does have the Miststalkers, Famir, Arwarm. Pretty badass army, so let's get the show on the road, guys. See how it goes. So the Miststalker thing is actually potentially going to catch me off guard. I mean, these guys creeping up from the side, trying to slide in there. It's certainly a threat that I'm not really kind of planning for right now. And as a matter of fact, can't really plan for much of his army because I can't see anything. But here I do drop the Zap Cannon, dropping some heat on these Marauder Horsemen, doing a little bit of work, but for the most part, oh guys, watch this. So I was trying to shoot the Marauder Horsemen, the Rat Ogres just run ahead, and I accidentally kill, I think, two of my Rat Ogres? No, I don't kill them, but I do a ton of damage. So some friendly fire there. Lovely way to start the game. Feels really good. So knowing his army is hiding in the trees or the forest, I send forward these Skaven slaves to kind of scout a little bit, and the Mobs of Savagery appear. These angry werewolves, certainly not taking any shit. And here they come. So they're going to be coming out, and my rats are just running for the hills already. I was basically just trying to kind of draw them out a little bit so I could shoot them with the Zap Cannon. And the Zap Cannon getting massive value, though. Not taking out a model. Oh, I actually did take out two models there, doing a ton of damage, and also blasting the Werekin, so a little bit of a hot 2-for-1. However, Dob's trap has been sprung. On the high ground, he ambushes my Rat Ogres with the Miststalkers, who, as the name would infer, do have the stock ability plus his Fire Sorcerer, so really good play there by Dob. He's able to ambush the Ogres. They're just terrified, so they'll probably come back, but in response, I do get the Teeth Breakers, which I actually thought I could get a better opportunity here, but you can see the Teeth Breakers have no line of sight, so no shooting's going to come here. Big misplay on my part. On top of that, he does get a really good burning head to the back, so Dob just going ham bone right now. He's able to take out 10, 11, 15 of those rats and do a ton of HP damage. I tried to dodge it, but nonetheless, he still gets some pretty good value. On the low ground, my Slingers are doing really good, though. They're taking out the Mobs of Savagery with the Zap Cannon. Some Stormvermin plus some rats are going to be piling in, the Skaven slaves, that is. And the Zap Cannon is really paying its due. So where I'm taking huge losses in the back, I'm also netting some value in the front. And the Council Guard are going to be storming in, so I drop a Libra Bubonicus knowing that these Miststalkers are an extremely high value unit, and the Council Guard surge forward with Rat Ogre support. So now, even though they're trying to pull my Council Guard away, they're not going to be able to, because the Rat Ogres are just going to be all over them. In the meantime, though, Dob does slip in again here with the Shaman Sorcerer. He's attacking the Zap Cannon. It's not going to be enough to knock it off, and here we have a huge pit fight. So some Summon Rats, Skaven Slaves, and Stormvermin are piling in against these Skinwolves. And Skinwolves don't have much melee defense or armor, so it's going to be a pretty good situation, even for like low-tier rat troops. We have Skrolk just kind of getting beaten down by Wulfric. No damage really exchanged yet, but I'm just trying to get away from him because Wulfric is a superior duelist, so I don't want any of that. Now in the ground fight, it's going pretty well. My Flayers have charged into the front, so my one Doom Flayer has saturated here. And the Stormvermin are doing a pretty good job against Berserkers, but some Werewolves are coming back in, so I don't want to stick around here too long. And I accidentally missed a play cast pretty horribly. I meant to go down this formation, but I just casted it into oblivion. Another Burning Head coming in from Dob, doing some pretty good work, but the high ground situation quite good. Famir are taking a beating from Rat Ogres and the Council Guard. But I certainly need to pull the Council Guard back in a minute or commit them to this fight versus Miststalkers because it's getting pretty scary. But here are the Skinwolves in sustained combat, having some problems, even versus Skaven Slaves. I'm trying to get the Teeth Breakers away, just pulling them back, and honestly, this game, they have generated zero value. I really need to take into account the line of sight. but finally an opportunity presents itself as Skrulk is able to get the Rod of Corruption, finish off these Skinwolves, or at least break them, and now we have a lineup. So these Werekin was an open field here, and the Teethbreakers are going to be lining up their Rattling guns, and I pull back with everything. I run with the Skaven Slaves, and a massive volley of fire just getting poured into that guy. Huge HP damage coming in, and it's only going to get worse as he gets closer. So one volley takes him down like 30%. So seeing that, I try and seize on the initiative. I come in with my slingers as well, trying to poke this guy down, but unfortunately these ones are out of ammo, and I didn't see that. But oh my god, that Skinwolf Werekin gets last samurai. So that's all it takes. Like one good moment from Rattling guns, and man, they pay for themselves. Like killing that Skinwolf Werekin pays for them in like a little bit of extra, like incredible value. We have the Mobs of Savagery coming in as well, who are going to get hit with the Snare Net as they do charge in here, but they're still going to slap up some rats. So Dov is going to be retorting quite well, getting in there, doing some value damage against these Teethbreakers. Stand your ground popped as well from Skrulk. And on the high ground, it's starting to be a stabilization for the rats. You can see that the Miststalkers are forced back by the Council Guard and the Rat Ogres, and they're going to be pushed off into the Shadow Realm. They may come back later, but I don't know if they're going to net any value. And Skrulk has been taking a beating. Hunter of Champions is active, but I'm running him back to the Council Guard now, trying to stabilize that situation, while we are also able to chase off the Mobs of Savagery. So more werewolves coming in, and the Bounce Fire is still pretty much dead even. You have to take into account Norsca does have quite a few troops down here. Berserker surging forward. They've killed all my Skaven Slaves and Chaff. He's got Marauders coming in as well. And the Teethbreakers did lose a model to that charge, but the Flayers are going to come in and kind of rescue them. So the Flayers coming with the downhill charge should be able to take out quite a few of these guys. God, imagine being run over by like just a lawnmower, just being rode by a rat. That's quite a fate, right? Teethbreakers are going to be lining up again, and they don't have too many great targets here, but his caster is back online, so we do have line of sight as well. I feel like I'm playing 40k whenever I do this. Like just getting down on the table here. You can see that the Shaman Sorcerer is going to be attacking some Slingers, and the Slingers are actually pretty decent in combat. You know, they're ninja rats. 24, 22, 26. 26, 28, 28. So pretty good stat line. I mean, they can finish the Sorcerer if they can catch him. Up on the high ground, the fighting's still underway. Marauders have made it back up here, but Skrulk has successfully kind of stabilized the situation. And unfortunately, I missed it, but there was a duel between him and Wulfric, but I had the Libra Bubonicus, plus support from the Council Guard, and also the Zap Cannon was able to blast Wulfric in the face. So, damn, I wish I'd been able to show you guys. But yeah, Skrulk was able to pull that one out, and now the Rattling Gunners on the low ground are going to be shooting in, doing a ton of work, and this was like my favorite play of the game. So check this out. We have the Mobs of Savagery coming in. So what I do is I pop the Concealment Bomb, which gives the character stalk and kind of disengages enemy attack orders. So you can see here, the wolves are just like, where'd the rats go? They've disappeared. Truly a ninja play. At which point they're like, oh yeah, it's Gotham's Reckoning. So these rats turn around, werewolves are like, it's too late. And they just get blasted into another space and time, just taken out to the last. So those Teethbreakers definitely pretty badass there. That was one of my favorite plays I've seen in quite some time. So able to get those guys, and the rest of the Norscan forces are going to be surging back in. You can see here we have some Skinwolves and some Berserkers, and they're getting in there, doing some work. But alas, that's pretty much going to be all she wrote, as the Skinwolves are going to get taken out by the Council Guard. Skrulk Daddy, one last assassination attempt. Wulfric coming in like a true man here, just getting in there, doing his work. And he might get Skrulk. Skrulk's very low, 525 HP. Skrulk comes in with overhead right, and it looks like Wulfric getting blasted by the Zap Cannon, plus Ikit's, not Ikit, but Skrulk's Flail, or his Sensor, is going to be enough to trigger army losses. So well played to Dov. It was a really fun game. And as far as the armies go, I certainly think the army was pretty good. The Skaven Slave in the front line were able to kind of, just be a buffer. And that's really, I think, when you see most high-level Skaven players play, especially when I watch folks like Aerocrastic, they just use hordes of Skaven Slaves, especially the Spear variant, because they do have pretty good melee defense. It's actually at 24 initially, which is pretty good. On top of that, Council Guard, man, just a staple for Skaven play. Like, so many factions, especially factions with access to Lore of Death. I mean, he didn't use that, but sniping Skrulk is super common, or Ikit. Like, having the Council Guard as a backline anchor against Famir and Skinwolves in this matchup is incredible. Rat Ogres will lose to Famir and Skinwolves, but, I mean, against regular Famir, maybe they have a chance, but they're just mass, right? Because that's another issue Skaven have, is dealing with mass. So having something to kind of pin your opponent in place and not let them push through to your high-value targets is pretty solid. So on top of that, we have the Storm Vermin, we have the Rattling Gunners. Rattling Gunners were really good. It was a pick that I put in at the last second, but it ended up paying huge dividends, just taking out that freaking Skinwolf Werekin, which is a terror in the night. If he gets involved in melee combat, like in my back line, oh my god, good luck getting rid of that thing. So the DPS we got from the Teethbreakers there, I think, was the big deciding factor, honestly. The game was really even up until then. So they're pretty good. I think the Doomflayer was a nice little niche pick. I didn't go too all in the Doomflayer. Skinwolves are a pretty good counter against it, but I think having one just for utility and mobility pressure is good. And yeah, I like this little Slinger Core. I like that not going too all in on the range tools, so you have enough assets to kind of protect everything, but yeah, it was fun, for sure. And Dov's army was great. He had Wulfric, which I think is a really good pick here. Shaman Sorcerer with Fire. Obviously, you saw Dov had some beautiful Burning Skulls. And the Marauders were good. Berserkers were good. I mean, everything was really, really solid. I mean, I like the army. I'm trying to think what I would change. I don't know. Maybe I would, like, I don't know. Berserkers can do some work against Skaven for sure. I might actually cut the Werekin. I don't know. He's pretty good though. You get that bonus first large there, and it really does help against ogres and flayers and things like that. What I would probably do, depending on how you can cut any number of things, but I would probably try and find a way to mix in some frost wolves, like to get the Norsca ice wolves. They're just so good at chasing down Skaven stuff, and like they do a ton of damage if they can isolate the scroll. Frostbite is just such a good mechanic to have. I think just having one or two of those would be a pretty big difference for sure. So again, well played, Dov, and make sure to check out his channel. Link in the comment section below. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.